A boy near the border of Syria and Israel was born with a long red birthmark on his head, and around the age of 3, the boy started to claim that he was murdered in his past life. This doctor and a German therapist started to follow the boy closely, and the little boy told them the story of how he was struck and killed with an axe. Under the evaluation of the doctor and therapist, the boy took them and the town elders to the place where he thought his previous body was buried. And sure enough, after hours of digging, they pulled up a skeleton from the dirt. The skull had an obvious blow to the head, which matched up perfectly to the birthmark the boy was born with. He was also able to give the name of his killer, who at first denied the claims, but later admitted his guilt after the boy's former body and murder weapon were found.
I am scarred. I'm traumatized. So someone tagged me in a video because I check my notifications and I'm a curious person. So I pressed the tag and I regret it so much. If I could go back in time, I would. That video is not meant to be seen. You know that sound, I'm sorry for fidgeting, but fidgeting's what I do. Yeah, so you know that song? This little kid, he was playing with poop, squishing it with his bare hands to that song. It is so obvious when a teacher has a favorite. For example, my geography teacher. My friend was doing guns with her hands to her friend, and she had to get out of the room and got a detention. But this girl pushed her friend's chair, making her fall on her bum. But the geography teacher laughed. I don't know, that doesn't seem right.
If I see a bug, I will freak out. So much so that a cockroach put me in physical therapy. Basically what happened is I walked into my mom's kitchen to make breakfast. And while I was making breakfast, I felt something itchy on my leg, but I was like, oh, it's nothing. I'm just paranoid. So I ignored it. But the itchy feeling happened a second time. And I was like, maybe I should look down. I looked down and I see this huge roach on my leg. I was freaking out. Literally, I had a whole heart attack, did some gymnastics, and then fell onto my back. The physical therapist asked me, what brings you in here? I replied, a roach. No, really, what brings you in here? A roach.
Everyone, you have to have this one person in your class, or you're just lucky to get into a nice class. That one person who just always wants to be right. When someone answers a question and they get it right, they say this. Yeah, I got that too. Really? Next example. When they get it wrong and the teacher asks, how did you go wrong? Where did you go wrong? They explain and then they say this. I was gonna do that. You weren't gonna do that, were you? Tell me that now. You weren't. Now stop trying to be the best in the class who gets everything right. Goodbye.
This is the #1 song that actually gets on my nerves. I say disco, you say party, disco, disco, party, party. I say disco, you say party, disco, disco, party, party. Like, no disco, and I don't say party, party. Like, who are you talking to? Like, I'm not gonna be singing to the screen. Disco, disco, party, party. Shut up! Do you ever just not trust yourself? For example, if I made something, like cook something, I would not eat it. I mean, I know what I put in, but I feel like I poisoned myself or something. Or at school, I know the answer, and I'm like 100% sure that that's the answer. But I will not say it out loud. I will always have to double check with my friend who sits next to me.